October 25th, 2021. Guys, you're looking at the current earthquake maps of La Palma. This goes back 3 days, notice in the top right. And the strongest quakes have occurred in the last 3 days. Yesterday was the strongest day. Today is the second strongest day, but it's not over with yet. You can see the 4.2 there. Now, 4.9. Then the second was a 4.2. But notice the larger quakes are not on the side of the island where the volcanic eruption is. They're on the opposite side of that ridge, to the right, over towards, that would be the east side, the one that you would look back towards the African continent. And that's where you've got your capital city of Santa Cruz. All of them are also very far south of the volcano, where I put the red triangle right in the center. That's the area of the old craters that we've seen, the old cones, where the lava's coming from now. So if you look across this section, that's where the activity is. That's where there's a puncture in the underground magma layers up into these magma chambers. Something else, this is current again as of just about 1 p.m. this afternoon Central Time. And notice that the depths of the quake, we were getting them a few days ago at 30 kilometers. And as you see them get shallow, that means more than likely there's more lava moving. And I've done a time-lapse video of today's breaking apart of that top cinder cone on both sides, and that's what this is indicating. Again, this is about an hour old, this report, but we're definitely getting shallower, and the magnitude is to the right. It's going from 2.7s up to 3.2, 3.3. This is also current information going over the last few days. A couple of things happening here. The earthquakes are south of the blue dot in the center. And it's a time-lapse thing. Notice how that blue dot is expanding back up that ridge line, or to right, from left to right in this image. Again, that's that rim that we see behind it. Notice that there's a couple of other lava channels that are very close to the Atlantic Ocean, north of where the first two have came through here. Now, again, the earthquakes south of the volcano, what are we dealing with? Lava moving from the north to the south or to the bottom here? Or is it coming up a little deeper in the area of these quakes, and then it's channeled off into the other side of that ridge? We don't know yet, but here is the information. To the left was the month before the volcano started, and then you can see around September the 9th, right in that area, we started seeing activity here. But yesterday was the strongest. Today so far is the second strongest. Notice the difference in these graphs to the ones on the left, the precursors. The purple area indicates the stronger quakes, 3.0 plus, and these are a lot stronger than the precursors, because you can see the extent of that purple line giving you the stronger quakes. Now, looking at Google Earth, we have seen many videos from Bushcraft Bear from this ridge right in the center, and he's looking back to the right, but he'll be right up in that area, and you can see that greenhouse kind of in the top center as he looks back over with his cameras. There's Los Lanos, and to the south of here, and this is not showing the new lava fields, but that's where it's coming from. Here is the part of this Cumbre Vieja National Park. All that's closed, but what it's showing older lava fields. Look at this in the center. And they just, after this happened, they kind of changed the direction of the road. But notice that even upon that lava, you've got growth coming back, forest coming back from that point in time. And down on the lava that you see that has came from the previous eruptions, they'll put dirt in there on top of that lava and stuff because it's excellent fertilizer, but they also have the Saharan sand blowing right across this island. Now, you got to the top left, the area we're dealing with now. Then you have the ridge line in the center there, which is dark green, and we always see that in the background of the volcanoes. But notice there's been several eruptions on the east side also, and we're seeing that movement from this area that here moving up that ridge. It's trying to move back up that area. Now this is, you can tell it's older craters because you actually have trees growing in there. But as we look at it, that high ridge behind us is what separates the east and west side of the island. And it looks like to me there's, because of the increase in volcanic activity and the rising of this lava, it has no intentions of slowing down anytime soon. Will it creep over that ridge line over into the heavier populated side of the island? We don't know yet. Very interesting here, you can see in the right side of this what some of the old lava flows that created these peninsulas out into the ocean there, where that has become massive banana plantations. You can see here in the center, that's an old lava field, and right in where the center area is, or the one closer to the left side, is an older section, but now it has been breached again. It's just massive banana plantations, and a lot of those square areas are actually where they get salt from. But you can see the darkened areas, and if you look at the progression through here, all of this is lava flows, and all of it has been turned into farmland. So eventually, we're hoping that's what happened. But you can tell, again, what you have to do is let it cool off, recut your highways, rebuild your infrastructure, water, power, things like that. So this one is kind of covering a larger area at one time than the other ones have done. But you can see that gray area of lava move all the way up. Now, this is a time-lapse video. Notice this morning the cone was pretty intact. You've got that curve right there. It's been building up forever. I've got this moving very fast because it goes through most of the day. I've cut out sections, but here you can see that wall becoming breached on the underside. It's blowing out at the bottom. You can see the lava flowing. And actually, it took only about 4 minutes for that to occur in real time. Notice the dust devils that form here from the heat also. Top right is 16 days ago, and that's kind of was the lava path at that point. Most of it, we were watching the cone build up. But this is going through the day. We saw the quakes intensifying. Over 230 earlier had already been reported, and the magma was moving up. This is the results of understanding what those charts are doing. And you can see, because of the time lapse, a lot more happening, especially the way this thing can create its own weather in its local area. Today has been, guys, again, the greatest collapse that we've seen as far as that top section that is facing the north. And you can see it form its own weather, but notice the right section down on the side of the mountain, several areas that lava's flowing from there. And here again, it was one explosion after the other. Now remember how round this top of this cone was when we started the video. Look at that left side, right side has almost completely breached, and see how powerful the explosions are in the center. So as we're getting later into the night, and at the end of this, it will be close to live videos. Look at this. That cone is pretty much disintegrated except for one peak right in the middle. It was just too much pressure. We saw from the earthquakes that this was rising, and this is what we're looking at now. Again, the top right, 16 days ago, and you can see we're still getting the same type of intensity, if not more, except it is moving up that ridge. And I think it's important to realize that, because where the earthquakes are, they're further south than this. So is the lava moving under that section with the quakes and then busting through that ridge line to here? Or is it the lava moving south from here towards the quakes, and this has been channeled off to the right, and you've got pressure building down in the area south of here on both sides of the ridge, but the stronger quakes are on the east side. Notice here, strongest day of sulfur dioxide yet. Right in the center, it says 53,600 tons. We've seen it 14,000, 11, 2,000, but 53,600 tons a day blowing into the atmosphere. It does not look like pressure's easing. I still contend that because of geologic evidence of volcanic chambers and gas and oil deposits being tied together. Some of the largest in the world were found in China. 66 kilometers of road are covered. 2,162 homes and buildings have been destroyed. But This is at 18:53:13 today. That would put you at about 6:55, I think it is, local time. And guys, it's getting dark there now, but it looks like they're going to be in for a long night. And it's very interesting. I can't overemphasize where those strong quakes are happening now. It's a heads up. Be safe.